Have you finally decided to invest in having your very own strategic assistant? Stay tuned for my 7 key tips for creating a very successful partnership and relationship. Hi, Shannon Waller here, and welcome to Team Success. I have had the total blessing of being supported by 2 incredible humans who have trained me very, very well on how to be a good person to support. And that is Nicole Pitcher. Shout out to you, Nicole. And also my brilliant support partner, Katrina. So what I wanted to share with you, because Katrina and I were talking about this the other day, that there are some tricks and tips for how to onboard a strategic assistant, which I actually call support partner. Strategic assistant is the term I came up with 30 years ago when we started that program, which I'm very proud of. So strategic assistant, great term, copyright strategic coach. But then support partner is actually what Nicole and I innovated. She's my support partner, or was. And then Katrina is my support partner. And it has been amazing. So I want to talk to you about the definition of those terms. And then I want to give you seven things to set up this relationship to be outrageously successful. And these are for you as the person being supported. Now, if you're an assistant listening, take notes, because there's some good stuff in here that you can be very proactive about. And I'll give you a link to some of the resources in a little bit. All right. So what does support partner mean? Well, by the way, when you're hiring for this, you hire for an executive assistant. That's the term that's out in the world. But I realized very, very, very early on that I didn't want an assistant. I didn't want to have to manage that person. In fact, I need them to manage me. I'm the one that requires management. Thank you very much. And I wanted someone who was on the support side of things, which I actually learned a lot about. I had insight from this from the DISC profile, which is a great personality one. And I learned that some people are on the supportive side of things. And that's actually what I realized I wanted, because I've worked with some other people who just were not put together that way. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm going to run as fast as I run and as far as I run, I need someone to hand me water, pretend I'm running a race. I need someone to hand me a water, ask if I've eaten, hand me what I need when I need it. I need help. And so I wanted someone who was wired that way and who knew that about themselves and who had a lot to bring. And as I found out, people who would know that they're naturally should be in a support role, and that's how they show up best, they're also rather particular about whom they want to support. So I endeavor to be worthy of that support. So I do not take it for granted. I do not think they are lesser. I do not think that in any way I am superior. In fact, I don't look very good unless I've got help. So they are crucial to my productivity and to my success. And I am incredibly grateful for their love and care and support, both strategic and every other way. That is my ideal for a great strategic assistant / support partner. Now, if you are looking to have one of these amazing humans come into your world and support you, there are some things you can do to set yourself and them up for success. And there are some things not to do as well. We're going to focus on what to do. I'm sure some of those other things will fill in, mostly ignoring any of this stuff. Bad idea. Number 1, I'm going to run through these fairly succinctly. Number 1 is please, please, please do the profiles. One of my mandates, self-laws, whatever you want to call it, is to know thyself. You need to know who you are. You need to know how you are configured. So please know your Kolbe profile. Know how you naturally strive and take action. Please know your print profile. And if you're involved with a coach, you know what that is. What is your underlying motivation? What's your motivational imprint? What a cool term. What's your why? Why are you doing what you do? What's important to you? Because that tells you when your needs are being met, you will show up in best self. And if your needs are not being met, you will show up in shadow self. And there are triggers that take you from one to the other. Very important to know about yourself and other people. Then there's also, of course, CliftonStrengths. Love CliftonStrengths. These are the things, do you have relationship skills? Do you have strategic planning skills? Do you have influencing strengths? Do you have executing strengths? Are you really good at getting stuff done? Hopefully your support partner does, by the way. That is really useful to know. So take a look at all 34, your top 5, the hand you've been dealt, the next 5 to 7, very useful. You can kind of reach into them. They're in your pocket. The bottom 5 is where you never go. It was not put into the basket, put it that way. So very useful to know that about yourself, and then of course about anyone else. And then finally, working genius. Working genius tells you where in the creative process, what brings you joy, where are you competent, and frankly, what is frustrating, right? So other than Kolbe, all of these profiles are in the affective realm. Some of them are on the surface level and some of them are really down deep. And working genius tells you about your teamwork. As a support partner, I'm invention and discernment. I don't need someone else much to invent and discern. I need someone who's going to help me get stuff done, because 5 of the 9 executing strengths are in my bottom 10 for Clifton. So I know I need help. I need someone who's got executing strengths. I need someone who is enablement, tenacity, and working genius. I need someone who's got some more fact finder follow through to rub together when it comes to Kolbe. So I need a complement to make sure that I get what I want to get done, because I'm one of the puzzle pieces, but I am not the whole thing. And so that's what you're looking to do, is to find your complement, to supplement where you don't have a lot of strength or mental energy, and who will also just provide a different perspective, there's a great quote from Donald L. Clifton. He said, "People are sharp, teams are well-rounded." The goal is not for you to be well-rounded, but to surround yourself with very powerful teamwork, of which your strategic assistant, your support partner, is like number 1. So critical. Number 2, remember to do the communication builder. Number 3 is really about commit to the relationship. This is not a transaction. This is a relationship, and it can be transformational if you let it be that. So commit to it. Commit to showing up in your best self. Commit to the other person. Find out what's important to them, what will make them happy, what has them feel fulfilled. And, if you've got someone who one of their motivational needs is to be needed and appreciated, please say thank you. Let them know how much their support means. Notice, pay attention. It's not hard. I don't have that, but I can certainly give that if that's what's really meaningful for someone, right? So, you can be emotionally intelligent about this, but profiles just really give you all of that intel. So useful. So commit to the relationship. This is, again, not a transaction. Don't just give them little tasks and to-dos. You can have that with a digital assistant. You've got a real live human with a brain and a heart, right, who has a lot to bring. So take advantage in the best way possible of all of that capability. All right. Now, the next one, this is number 4, is please make time together. One of the things that Katrina said, she was noticing how someone else is working with their assistant. And she's like, they hardly ever meet. They need to meet all the time, which is kind of funny. Not all the time, but if you're expecting to have everything that you're doing supported in a 15-minute or 30-minute meeting a week, good luck with that. I'm not sure how that would work. As much as possible, Katrina and I huddle every single day. If I'm around, and I'm not all the time, but when I'm around, I'm like, okay, when am I meeting with Katrina? We catch up, we see how each other is doing, we do a positive focus, here's what's on the deck for the day. Mondays, we make sure that we review the week so I know what's coming, just to be set up for success. I'm distractible, so the more reminders I get, the more prompts I get, the better. And I don't resent it, and in fact, I appreciate it. Now, that's me, but most entrepreneurs I know, not dissimilar. So meet a lot. So short 15-minute huddles, whatever you have attention span for. One of the other things that we do is we have project meetings. So not only around timing and scheduling, but also a specific project that she's helping move ahead. Could be podcasts, for example. We will do experience transformers, which is a brilliant coach tool on what's working, what's not, what can we do better next time. So we're always learning and trying to iterate our processes. And then every 4 to 6 weeks, usually it's 5 to 6 weeks, we have a strategic planning meeting that I do not organize. She does the agenda. Katrina prepares all of the meeting notes, all the questions, all the scheduling stuff. It's when she knows she has my undivided attention on her agenda, which is frankly my life. So I should be paying attention to that, but the stuff that I'm not great at. So that is very powerful. And I love doing it out of the office. My favorite is a fun coffee shop if we can find one. We do it over Zoom if that doesn't work out. But I actually really look forward to those meetings. It's a great chance to step away and take that longer term perspective. Love that. And then make sure that you are also doing growth plans with your person. How are they growing? What's going to be a stretch target for them? Don't just take them for granted. They have expertise and capability to contribute, and they want to be growing too. Is there some new tech? Is there some AI they could be playing around with? Is there a new level of responsibility that they want to take on? Give them that opportunity. It will only help leverage you and your company. So why not? If they're growing, you're growing. So make sure that that happens. Number 5, be willing to be managed. This is their area of expertise, especially if, I'm a 9 quick start. Katrina is a follow through fact finder. And so I hand over all of that stuff. I tell her, here's what I would like to see happen. Here's a rough time frame. And she makes the magic happen. She plays Tetris with my calendar. I have no idea how that even happens. She can go back and forth. Like scheduling calms her down, stresses me out. So I love that. Occasionally I'll do it. Sometimes if it's an emergency, and half the time I get it wrong. So then she takes over. Well, not half the time, but sometimes I get it wrong. So, where possible, I'm like, my security clearance does not go that high, and I make sure it gets over to her. And oh my gosh, it took Nicole so long to train me to copy her in on my emails so that she could jump in, be introduced. Here's my fabulous support partner. Tony Shea from Zappos had he goes, here's my scheduling ninja. Nicole, though, didn't really relate to ninja, so it was scheduling goddess. Katrina just likes support partner. Does make it kind of fun, by the way. But include them in the conversations. Say, this person is far better at this. She will make sure that we have a time, whatever. Like, give that person status with your larger scale communication. Don't just keep them backstage. Does not work. So be willing to be managed. Be willing to be coached. They know stuff that you don't know. They know how things work better than you do. They know how long things take more than you. So the more coachable you can be and are willing to be, the easier that gets. They are there for you. Support is what they are wired for. So be willing to be supported, right? They're actually for you. They're not trying to judge you. They're not trying to make you wrong. They are simply trying to figure out where things are at so they can help move things ahead. That is their mission in life, is to help you get stuff done. So you got to be open with them. You've got to be clear with them. You've got to be transparent with them. And I find it very liberating, to be perfectly honest. So I love that. So on that sort of same note, really recognize, this is number 6, that they are a very strategic who in your life. They are a complement to you. So not only do you have to be willing to be managed, just recognize that they are part of your unique ability team. And I like to talk about a teamwork triad, which is make it up, which is probably you. Then you've got your make it real, which is often your project manager. And most times, strategic assistants, support partners are your make it recur, your focus managers. And they're focused on you and your calendar and your schedule and your activities and your relationships, all the things where the rubber meets the road. So this is a very, very crucial leg of your 3-legged stool. If they're not there, things fall over. So really recognize that they are very strategic in you doing you and you being your best self. So just enough on that. And then lastly, and I love this coaching, it really comes from Kolbe, keep your sense of humor. Be willing to laugh at yourself. There will be breakdowns. There will be misinterpretations. You'll be like, oops, forgot about that one. And hopefully they also have a sense of humor. That's also key. They're great, but they don't expect perfection. My personal goal for myself for any kind of scoring we do a lot, is I want to be a 4 out of 5 or an 8 out of 10. 80%. I want an A. That's my grade. I do not insist on 100%. I don't need to be a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10 all the time, but I want to at least be a 4.5 if I'm doing half marks, right? And so things will fall through the cracks. Great. Life goes on. No one's going to die. Nothing's going to end. So just figure out the system and the process to make it better next time. So having that sense of humor, giving grace to yourself and to the other person. Don't lose your temper. Not cool with yourself or with others. And when I have to tell you, at least this is easy for me, and maybe it's who I am, but there can be so much fun. There can be a lot of love, a lot of grace, a lot of affection. It is great. I mean, I have relator as one of my strengths, and I read this line, which I don't know why I've never seen it before in all the years since I've done CliftonStrengths, but it said, you love to work hard with your friends. I'm like, yes, I do. That is a perfect description for Shannon. To my mind, like Katrina and I are friends. Nicole and I are friends. We're actually having lunch in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited. So this is who this person can be for you if you're wired at all like me, but why not? your friends who are working hard together and getting some cool stuff done. What could possibly be better? So that is the potential. But again, you really need to do these 7 things. So I'll just recap. Do the profiles. Do yours. Do theirs. Do their spouses. Do their friends, if that's relevant. Understand each other. Compare notes. The communication builder exercise. So critical. The communication builder is how do you like to give and receive information? So that is vital. That actually was critical in the success for Nicole and I working together. Same for Katrina. It's what we recommend everybody. And it's available at yourteamsuccess.com as a download. Entrepreneurial attitude exercises there, communication builder, positive focus, cool stuff. But that communication builder is huge. How do you like to give and receive information? What do you need when you're tired, when you're stressed? How can you adapt to one another? It's much easier to adapt how you give information than it is to how you receive it. We tend to be kind of hardwired for that. So make sure you do that. Number 3, commit to the relationship. Number 4, meet frequently. If not all the time, then daily huddles, project meetings during the week, and then make sure that you have that strategic planning meeting in whatever time frame, but probably not much more than 4 to 6 weeks. That seems to be, at least if you're running fast like I am. Number 5, be willing to be managed. That is really, really important. And to use their unique ability. Number 6, recognize that they're a very strategic who in your triad, probably your make it recur person. And then finally, number 7, keep your sense of humor, bring in your heart. Don't just be a transactional automaton. You are a warm, feeling human being, and share that with your person. That will be important to them since they are committed to supporting you. All right, so those are my 7 tips, actually our 7 tips, who am I kidding, for having a great onboarding with your strategic assistant that will actually help this relationship not just be a short-term 3-month thing where it doesn't work out, but you'll be together for the long term and will actually keep growing together and keep growing in your impact and influence and productivity and results, which after all is kind of the point. All right. Hope you find this list useful. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know at questions@strategiccoach.com. And as always, here's to your team success.